Oh look, Specimen 5 has spawned. But where is she? Her chase theme has started, so she definitely has spawned. But she hasn't opened the door yet, and there are no visual effects like the fog and wall distortions. However, as soon as we get to the next room, the fog appears as well as the wall distortions, and she starts chasing like normal. This happens every single time she spawns in the original game of Spooky's Jumpscare Mansion, and you can even get attacked in the room that she supposedly spawns in, even if you don't even see her. And we know it's her that's attacking, since we lose 50% of our health per hit, which is exactly the amount of damage that she deals. So, Specimen 5 just must be invisible in her spawning room, right? Or is she invisible? I decided to experiment around the spawning room and look for clues. As I was looking around, something briefly caught my eye. Did you see that? Something is sticking out of the wall and moving. But what could it be? Well, it didn't even take 2 seconds for me to realize what it was. Yep, it's Specimen 5's blade that's attached to her arm. After discovering this, I realized that she is not actually invisible, as I originally thought, but instead is somehow trapped inside the walls. I then went back and tried to get her to spawn again in a more narrow room this time, to see if I could get a better look. And sure enough, there's her sword sticking out of the wall and traveling at the exact same speed that she walks. So we've now solved the mystery of why Specimen 5 is always missing in the first room she spawns in. But now that raises the question, why does this happen? What makes her stuck inside the walls like this? Well, I wish I knew the correct answer to that, as I'm not totally sure, but I do have a theory. And while I can't confirm that my theory is accurate, it's very likely that it is. For those who have played through the story mode, you probably know that in Specimen 5's introduction room, room 210, she is first introduced off to the side of the room and spawns from inside an old gate that opens up. So she doesn't spawn from a door, at least not until the next room. If you look at the location of where she is stuck inside the wall, it's always on the left side of the room if you're facing away from the door that you came out of. The same direction from where she spawns in her introduction room in room 210. So it's possible that when the game randomly generates her chase, the game has her programmed the same way that she works in the introduction room, which might explain why she gets stuck inside that side of the wall, but can still attack and do damage. Again, this is just my theory, and it may not be correct, but that's the only thing that I can think of for why this happens. This may also explain why there are no fog or distortion effects in her randomized spawning rooms, since there are also no effects in room 210 either. So if my theory is indeed correct, then that would make perfect sense. It would explain why this happens, and it would confirm that Specimen 5 is not actually invisible after all, but is sadly just trapped inside the walls. Poor Bab. Someone needs to call Spooky and rescue her.